I'm Looney Politics columnist Dale Smith, and our national security laws are due for legislative review. Some of them, like the CSIS Act, haven't been updated since the 1980s, and the last major piece of national security legislation, the CSE Act, was passed 7 years ago and should have already undergone the mandatory legislative review, but it hasn't yet. And it's not terribly surprising because a lot of these reviews need to happen in parliamentary committees, and for the last 7 years or so, they've largely been tied up in procedural warfare, with nothing but filibusters going back and forth over various things and attempts to have witch hunts and special investigations and so on and so on. Nevertheless, these reviews need to be done. Now, the minister is saying, he can't do anything about it because it's Parliament's job. And nevertheless, the government has a majority, and they could be dropping some serious hints that the committee should take this up. And the committee chair in public safety in this particular instance isn't answering media calls. So there's a problem there. But what I think really does need to happen is that the committees start taking up these reviews, many of which are years and years overdue, because they have a majority right now and can use their votes to deal with the usual legislative warfare nonsense that's been going on. The other thing that's really good about this is that committees actually have the power to initiate legislation. So when they're going through these national security reviews, or whichever legislation that is overdue for a legislative review, they can actually draft a new bill to correct the problems that they're finding, or so on, and then present that bill to the House of Commons to be passed. It's a rarely used power, but it is something that the committees are able to do. And I think we have a perfect opportunity for them to actually show that MPs are not just useless automatons who are reading speeches into the record, but they can actually do serious work and present serious legislative review and updated legislation or amendments or so on to the House of Commons, and show that they've done the work, they've done the homework, it's ready to go, and they don't need to bother waiting for the minister to review and so on. I think this would be a really good opportunity for MPs. I'm also not hopeful that it's going to happen, but I think this would be an opportunity that they shouldn't let go to waste, because I think this is something that can demonstrate that our Parliament actually does work, and that MPs can and should do meaningful work for what we're paying them for. For Looney Politics, I'm Dale Smith.